Okay, Charlie, so I'm gonna go ahead and go through the ones that you got wrong on this video, and then I went ahead and redid the settings on the quiz so you can retake it if you'd like. All right, so it looks like you got number 1 and number 2 wrong, and it talks about Monaco and his cups of tea. He put different amounts of sugar in each cup. The line plot shows the amount of sugar he puts in each cup, and you need to find the total amount. So this is what his line plot looks like. And so this was tricky because you had to figure out what these fractions were based on the line plot. So if you just look at how many spaces there are between 0 and 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you know each one of these is a fourth. So that's 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. So this is 1 and 1/4, 1 and 1/2, 1 and I'm just gonna say 2/4, 1 and 3/4, 2 and 1/4, and then this is 2 and 3/4. So I went ahead and wrote those down here, make sure I have all of them I need. Yep. And so then to find the total amount, I'm just gonna add them up. Now you could multiply like this times 2 and this times 2 and add them up, but these fractions are actually pretty simple to add together. And find the total. And it's actually probably quicker just to add them. So first I'm just gonna add all the whole numbers. And 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 9. Now I'm gonna add the fractions. I'm gonna try and group them so they're into groups of whole numbers. So 3/4 plus 1/4 is 1 whole. So I'm just gonna keep track of the wholes with my fingers. 1/4 plus 3/4 is another whole. And then 2/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 is another whole. So that's 3 other wholes, so your total is 12. Then your next one says, what's the average? So to find the average, that's a fancy word for mean, which is when you add everything up and then you divide it by the numbers you added together. So how many add-ins did I add in? How many cups of tea did he have? 7. So I'm going to take the total amount of sugar he used and divide it by the 7 cups he had and get 12/7, which is equivalent to 1 5/7 tablespoons of sugar. All right, so the next one gave you data. I think this was Victoria and her length of crayons in her crayon box. And then you had to put that in a line plot and figure and match it. Now this one was hard because these numbers all have different denominators, and you would think you would put them into eighths, which you could, because I'm looking at the 4 options, and 2 of them, the line plots are broken into eighths, and 2 of them, the line plots are broken into fourths. And when I first did this, I did it into eighths. And neither one of the line plots on here that was broken into eighths actually worked for me. So then I went ahead and did it in fourths, and I found one that matched what mine looked like. So that's what I'm gonna do here for you, is I'm gonna take all of these fractions, and I'm gonna make equivalent fractions out of fourths. So this is 2 and 1/4. This is equivalent to 3 and 2/4. This stays the same. 3 and 2/4. This stays the same. And this is divided by 2, divided by 2. So this equals 3/4, okay? And I'm gonna cross these out so I don't get them confused with what I'm doing. All right, so now I need to plot them on my line plot. Now they're out of fourths, so I need to have 4 spaces in between 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is 2 and 1/4, 2 and 2/4, 2 and 3/4, 3 and 1/4, 3 and 2/4, 3 and 3/4. So this one goes here. Excuse me. This one goes here. This one goes here. This one goes here. This one goes here. And this one goes here, okay? And so then I'm gonna erase my fractions below just so it looks like then what that looks like up on the screen. Okay, so if you look at I'm gonna show you the screen. It's this one right here. That looks like mine, okay? All right, what's next? All right, so it was this, the next one was the same thing. You had to take the days of the week and the miles that somebody ran. Andy ran a certain amount of miles, and he made this chart, and then you have to put it in a line plot. So I'm looking at the line plots, and they're all made out of fourths. So I went ahead and made mine out of fourths, and then that means I have to also make equivalent fractions out of fourths. So I have to change some of these into fourths. So looks like I have to change this one, and this one, okay? So I'm gonna change this to become 1 2/4, and I'm gonna change this one to be 2 2/4, and I'm gonna change this one to be 2 2/4. Yes? And do I have all, he's got 7. Do I have all 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. All right, so 2 2/4 goes, and you can, or 1 2/4, you can, when you write this out on a piece of paper, which I hope that's what you did, you can do some of your benchmarks, which I'm going to do my halfway points to help me. So 1 2/4 goes there, done. 2 2/4 goes there, done. 3 1/4, that's just 1 over. 3 3/4, that's right there. 2 2/4, there. 1 1/4, there. And then 2 2/4 there. Okay, so that's what my number line would look like, and I can even erase these benchmarks to make it look like the one up there. And it looks like it's that option 3 right there. Okay. So hopefully when you took your quiz, you were doing this on a piece of paper, not just like guesstimating or just looking to see which one it looked like. And then your next one says, what is the total distance that he ran in those 7 days? So what do you have to do? You have to add these up. So I'm going to rewrite them, 1 4/8, and I'm going to put them all, I'm going to do the same thing where it was all the same denominator, because that's going to make them easier to add. 2 2/4, 3 1/4, 3 3/4, 2 2/4, 1 1/4, and 2 2/4. All right, so first I'm just going to add my whole numbers. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Then I'm going to add my fractions. And again, just like I did before, I'm going to try and group them so they're easily just one wholes, and I'll keep track with my fingers. So this is 1 whole, that's 1. This is another whole, 2. This is another whole, 3 wholes, and then I have that 1/4 left. So plus 3 1/4, which equals 17 1/4 miles. All right, what's next? I think that's it. So go ahead and take a look at this video. I don't know if you get your quiz back, but what you can do, I went ahead and changed the settings so you can go in and retake it. And then I'll take the higher of the 2 grades. Thanks, Charlie.